Daily Broadside, day 684. After yesterday's assassination event in Pennsylvania with President Trump, who I am not a Trump supporter, and I am definitely not a Biden supporter. Neither one of those dudes are getting my vote, unless something miraculous changes, and I don't see that happening. So don't hear me wrong. I ain't for either one of them. But one thing I am for is people not being assassinated for running for office in this country. As much as I may abhor some of these people, I don't want them to be assassinated. And if you're one of these people who are saddened by the fact that, Trump didn't die and wasn't assassinated, you're clearly what's wrong with this country. And you don't deserve the freedoms and the beauty that this country holds. You really don't. Think about how that just completely undermines the entire, beautiful system that we have created. And yes, it has its flaws, but you know what I'm saying. So that's really all I have to say about that. I just find you to be a complete and utter douchebag if you were hoping that somebody was offed yesterday. Somebody died, dude. It wasn't Trump, but somebody died. Is that cool? Or we're sad about that part. That's just such a douche dick move to not only feel that way, but to go to social media and that be your rally cry that, oh, dang, he missed. That's just really stupid. But I digress. That's all I really have to say about that. I will say this, though. I don't think English as a second language is really a job. That's not a career. That's not something that you do. You know how I know this? Because I have two sons who speak fluent English. And when I first met those boys, when they were 0 days old, they didn't speak a lick of English. And I taught them everything they know. It's really, that's just not a job. That's just, I understand it's necessary, but it's got to be the dumbest job and easiest job on planet Earth. I taught those boys how to talk, and they talk fine. You go over there and you're like, ball, that's a ball. And they're like, ball. And they learn that that's a ball. You're like, bathtub, dog, cat, truck, It's very simple. You already know how to do it. It's like teaching somebody to walk or teaching somebody to breathe. That's such a joke job. I'll tell you another thing. I was eating sushi a few nights ago. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday evening. I went and had a bunch of sushi. And by the way, I'm eating sushi with someone who enjoys sake, like a really hot sake. And I've tried it. I can't get into it. Hot beer. What the hell is that? But anyway, I noticed that Kikkoman, however you say that brand, is on like 99% of the tables in Asian restaurants, right? They've got the market on soy sauce. You got the green bottle that's low sodium and the red bottle that's like full strength, right? No one uses the red bottle, all right? And I've taste tested. I did a blind taste test. I couldn't tell the difference. I didn't know which was which. So why would you ingest more sodium in something that you can't tell the difference? It would be like Diet Coke and Coke tasting absolutely identical. And of course, Diet Coke not being, because some people say that Diet Coke is worse for you than Coke, and that may be, but let's assume that it's not. It's actually a diet version, and it is better for you, and they tasted exactly the same. Why would you drink Coke? That would just be dumb, and that's probably a stupid example, but here we are. So yeah, why do they buy the red? It just makes no sense. It does not do anything for you other than giving you more sodium, and you can't taste it anyway, so just use the green. I have no problem with the green. But anyway, that's all I have to say about soy sauce, as it were. I think we should banish everybody from the country. Just send them away, ship them away to somewhere. Greenland seems nice this time of year. If they hold their nose when they jump into a body of water, drives me nuts. And I'll tell you this, man. I was talking to somebody the other day. What was it the other day? It was yesterday. It was yesterday around dinner time. Yeah, I don't even know what day it is. So I go over to some friend's house. They'd gotten a nice Airbnb, and we, got some wings. We're hanging out and whatnot. And after I left, a friend of mine and I went over to the Queen, the Dairy of Queens, and got a banana split, right? And so we're sitting there eating a banana split, and the concept, or upon the conversation, came the concept. I mentioned the phrase Van Chock straw. And she was like, what? And I'm like, what? And she's like, what did you just say? I said, Van Chock straw. She's like, what is that? I said, It's vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. It's, you know, what most people call Neapolitan ice cream. I don't really know why it's called Neapolitan. I do now because it was they say it comes out of Naples, Italy, and originally it was green, white, and red because it was pistachio, vanilla, and cherry. Cherries were harder to find in Italy than were strawberries, I guess. They switched it to that, but it was the red, white, and green. You know, they kind of went with the Italian flag. It was the original thing, and whatnot. And then it, of course, American, the three favorite Van Chalk straw. And so she's like, seriously, why are you calling it that? I'm like, that's what I grew up calling it. That's what it's called. She's like, it's Neapolitan, you know. And there's another word for it. It's like Hungarian gravy or something. I don't know what. There's another word for it. But I don't know. I've never heard anybody call it that. It's either Neapolitan or Van Chalk straw. And this person looked at me like I had 3 heads growing out of my neck because I called something that's clearly vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry Van Chalk straw. So I ask you, I implore you, am I the only person who grew up calling it that? Because that's just what it was called to me. I didn't know it was Neapolitan until years later. Of course, I don't think I've ever bought it. I don't think I ever ate it, you know, where it said Van Chalk straw on it, you know, as one word, like a portmanteau, just crushed together these, you know, few letters. It always had Neapolitan, which, you know, as a kid, you can't pronounce Neapolitan. It's like Nepalese or something. You don't even know what you're reading, right? That word's too big for a 7-year-old opening a gallon. Is it a gallon? A gallon of Breyer's Van Chalk straw. But nevertheless, Van Chalk straw here, and Neapolitan somewhere down here. And that girl, no longer my friend. Giddy.